this computer. All right, everyone, welcome back. You have probably already, or you should have, already watched the video about your type. And so we're going to move into the next realm. I know the last one was a really long one, so I just want you to know we're going to be trying our best to keep these nice and tight and short so that you can have bite-sized information. So I'm going to go ahead and present to this and then let you take it away, Nattalee.
Thank you, Nicole. Okay, welcome back, everyone. You watched the human design type and you have your chart and you know what your type is. And I referred to the aura in the last video, but I just want to go a little bit more into detail because this is really important to understand. So let's start. So we see we have the 4 different types. You know, if you're a manifestor, you're a generator, you're a projector or reflector. And one of the questions that comes up around human design in the 4 types is how come generator and manifesting generator, how come some people, teachers, lump it together and why some separate it? And so this is going to explain that for you, but let's just look at each of these different types, what you're here to do. The strategy, the manifestor is here to form before you act, and the generator is here to wait to respond. The projectors wait to be invited, and the reflector wait 28 days. And so how the aura functions is a way of taking care of you. What first of all, the aura is this energy field around us. It's at least 15 feet, so that's the arms extended and then the arms extended again, up, down, front, back, side. And when we incarnate or we come into form and you know we pick up our design at our birth, the type is connected to the aura. And you know, the aura isn't exactly something most people can even feel or see or know or anything. It's just like you gotta believe it or sense it in some way. So those of you that are wanting to develop your intuition or your sensitivities, I think that you will relate to this information. Is that so? Let's just talk about if the manifestor, you know, their aura takes care of them. If they stand in their power and they're here to inform, then, you know, the aura is repelling so that they can stand in their form and be the one that initiates. I think that there's, let's move ahead and take each one separately here. So, so here to impact. So think about it. If the manifestor's here to impact, they need a kind of power that assists them with it. They can't be in response like a generator. They're not here to take something in and then respond to it. That's the complete opposite that for a manifestor. They're here to inform. And so their aura is a little bit closed. It's a little bit repelling. And at some point it does interact. At some point it does inform. And it just, in my education, I was very fortunate that I studied in person for many years, and sometimes in groups of people of 50 or more. And the first time I saw a manifestor standing by herself and just looking at her energy, I totally got it. I totally got what the aura was doing. It was this person standing almost like, the picture I got in my mind at the time was like an Indian princess. You know, it was like she had some power to her. She had some authority to her, yet there wasn't any, she wasn't pushing me away. She was just standing in her power. And that really struck me and stuck with me as I meet other manifestors, like, oh, so your aura will take care of you. You don't have to be taking on everybody's energy. So I hope that helps for the manifestors to understand how to use this information, this aura. Oh, my aura takes care of me. Okay, so the generator and the manifesting generator, if you have a sacral center defined, that's the second one up from the bottom, then this response, it comes much quicker for manifesting generators than it does for generators most of the time, not always, but there's a way of which the energy, you're pulling things to you, and you're like, well, what do I do with all this energy? What do I want? Who am I? This question of, I have this sustaining energy that wants to be satisfied, but I don't know what I want. I only know when I have a gut response. And so the aura is set up for you to bring things towards you. What most people do before they get this information is that, oh, they're trying to force an outcome, or, oh, that's a great idea, I'm going to go do it, or, oh, I've got to do this for my family. They do things out of obligation, or they do things because it makes logical sense. All of those things can now be put aside, and instead is to pay attention to your energy, pay attention to what's coming to you. Could be an email, a phone call, you overhear a conversation at the grocery store, anything that kind of comes to you. It's like, oh, does that give me energy? Does that uplift me? So that's how the aura can take care of you. So the projector, again, they do have the energy coming to them. They actually absorb it, and then they decide what they're going to focus on. So just imagine a projector, goes to the farmer's market, or some kind of mart where there's, or a trade show where there's all these different choices. It's like, well, what are they going to focus on? And so for projectors, it's really like taking that pause and really being aware of, okay, things are coming to me. Things are coming into me. And what is it that I'm going to focus on? Is it that person that when I looked over there, they were looking at me? Or was it the colors of the trade show booth? Or was it the color, or what the vendor is offering? It's like there's something that you're then going to focus on, or it could be just a pure invitation, like, hey, come over here, I'd love to chat with you, or you look like a really interesting person, I'd love to get to know you. Because then the particular projector says, well, I want to know who you are. And so it could be something like that. It's like you see the most interesting person, and then you find out if that is reciprocated, if there is a recognition for you and not a forcing. So you have to discern, even though you want to know who the other is that also being reciprocated, that they want to know who you are?
Can I just say that I find this so interesting because I've really never thought about auras all that much. But, I was in a conversation with a friend of mine who was saying, I can't remember exactly what she was like, people always approach me and offer me all this crap. And I was like, I don't feel like people ever say, hey, try this or test this out. And so I think it's that manifestor aura that I didn't realize it was working for me when it was, that I'm like, people don't just approach me and invite me to like come into their booth. I don't know what it is, but it must be the aura. I did not know.
There you go.
The consequence of it, or the impact, I guess, not consequence, but interesting. So now I'd be curious, what is her type, right?
Yes, exactly. Okay.
All the questions. Got it. All right.
Okay, so the reflector, very rare, 1% on the planet, but they don't have any centers colored in. They're all white. And so many people think that, oh my gosh, what do? They must be, very weak people. But here again, the aura takes care of them. And so I kind of look at it a little bit like Teflon, their aura, like it kind of comes in, but then it slides right off. Or also, like if they take a little sample of that experience or that environment or those people or that one person, they kind of sample things and then it leaves them. And so they don't necessarily absorb it like the projector does. So it's a difference of something else that I do is helping people manage their energy field and helping people, release sometimes toxic energy and things like that. And so it's really being aware of what your aura type is and how that functions as to your sensitivities to picking up from other people. And so the reflector has this built-in mechanism that says, okay, I'm just taking a bite and then I'm giving it back. So that's ideally because they're really looking at the group, at the community, at our environment, and not so much individual attention like the projector does. So there we have a little summary of each of the aura types and their strategy and how this aura naturally takes care of us. And so be thinking about how, if there's any ahas that came up for you as we were going through and describing this. So what we're looking for, we're always looking for alignment, right? Alignment is everything. We're either in human design, as how I look at it, is we're either in alignment or moving in that direction, or we're moving towards chaos, discomfort, resentment, and some of the other characteristics that come up by the different types. But as a manifestor, as you begin, what happens for manifestors when they hear about their type, it makes a shift in them. And their shift is they're remembering their power. They're remembering, oh yeah, I'm really, go-getter, and that they don't have to allow people to take their light away, basically take their fire away, that they can stand in that truth. And that's what they're supposed to do. And that is how the aura helps them. As the generator and manifesting generator, what I really notice with people is, oh, they're relieved, they're liberated. It's like, oh my gosh, I don't have to force everything. I don't have to figure out things. I can actually let others pull me in and wait to see what I want instead of trying to figure out what I want. They're not designed as the ones to initiate, to go after, until there is been some kind of interaction with a person or the environment, so they can relax. Mm-hmm. The projector, what happens for them, they feel relieved as well. There's a sense of freedom about they don't have to always be doing, right? To really get the recognition, they get involved in what's interesting to them, and they, satisfy their talents and their strengths. And at some point, then the other invitations come, especially for work. Remember, for the bigger things, relationship and work and location. So the reflector, when they feel, really understand who they are, that it's okay that they're different. It's okay that they're changeable. And that, their excitement and their surprise comes from this really authentic way of taking in all these different people or community, and then their invitations come that are correct for them. by following their strategy and being aware of how their aura functions. So our invitation to you is to experiment. And what do I mean by that? In human design, we use this term, you hear it a lot. I try to take it back to, the laboratory. If, in biology, when you're looking through the microscope, and different things get added into the petri dish, and you don't know how those different chemicals or different neurons or whatever we're putting into the petri dish, how are they going to interact? And it's like, well, it might go well. And it's like, oh, they didn't like each other. They didn't mix. But we don't put any judgment on it. We're just experimenting. We're just looking to see what's going to happen in our petri dishes through the microscope. And so that's the invitation here. When we say experiment, it's just be observing, notice, and do it with awareness. And when you start to do this, when you start to practice your strategy or notice how there is an interaction with other people or groups or experiences, there's something that happens inside and it starts to become more natural for you. So that's what you're looking for, is to integrating that strategy. And at last, comes the alignment, comes to where you do feel more relaxed, you do feel more comfortable in your own skin. You feel like you know yourself and who you really are, and you're able to honor that. So learning human design is one piece, and what we're offering here is the second. How do you use it in your life?
Yes. Well, and I will just add to that kind of the experimenting process is being able to even feel into your body. And we'll talk more about what that means to feel into your body in the next video. But, you get to stop kind of using your brain to help you make all of your decisions. And how do you make your decisions? Well, that comes with using your strategy. And then when you're integrating, you get to kind of get to that place where you're knowing like, oh, this actually feels right and it doesn't. And the fun part about alignment is that like attracts like, right? So then once you get into alignment, more alignment comes with you with more ease, because you have a sudden awareness much faster than going in that discomfort of like, is this working? Is this not working? Should I do it this way? Should I not? And you learn and develop that sense of self-trust. So we'll be bringing you into, there's another video coming. So you'll jump into that, and we'll be talking about the emotional authority, or inner authority, I guess, not emotional, the inner authority.
Inner authority.
I'm learning as much as you guys are in this. I've been, loving being in here. So I hope you're getting a lot from it. There's going to be PDFs that you can download and other resources added in periodically. So just make sure that you're looking for all the resources and then taking this work out of the computer and out of these sessions and putting it on paper and being with yourself and your thoughts. And we'll keep supporting you through this process. So I think that's it for me. Did you have any last words, Nattalee?
The only thing I wanted to underscore, really important, yes, as you do start finding more alignment in yourself, you do start attracting more alignment, more aligned people. And so it just, it kind of snowballs. So wish you the best in your experimenting, and we'll see you in the next video.
All right, everyone. Thanks so much. We'll see you in the next module. Bye-bye.